You think that when people are uncertain of their purpose, then they miss opportunities in life to be the best version of themselves.
I would say they live near their purpose. Near their purpose.
That's a new one.
So people kind of touch and go. It's just because it's an assignment doesn't mean it's your purpose.
Right. Because we are trying to figure it out, we may be paralyzed in the decision.
I think a lot of people are getting it confused when it comes to their purpose.
Talk about it.
It's okay, I want to be 10 different things when you're only one.
I believe that your talents are what you can do, but God's purpose for your life is what He wants you to do.
The moment you start comparing yourself with others
Come on here.
to determine whether or not you are walking in your purpose, you'll never fulfill your purpose. You gotta understand your life is never about you. It is for the glory of God at the end of the day. What's up, real ones? This is Henry Fernandez. We've got a conversation that we are going to partake of today. We're going to talk about God leaves us clues in finding our purpose. And I've got some lovely people joining me here today in the discussion, and we want you, my friends who are watching the podcast, to be a part of it because honestly, all of us are trying to discover why are we on this planet? Why are we on the job that we're on? Why are we married to the person we're married to? Why are we dating that person? Did we start the business? So we're going to talk about this. You want to make sure that your family and friends get to see this podcast. But first, let me introduce these amazing people. You hear them all the time. Of course, to my right is Carlene.
What's up, real ones?
To my right, Carlene Wright. To my right, Carlene Wright.
Hey.
I love that.
And then to my left is Samarge. What's your last name again, Samarge?
Mrs. Wilson.
Mrs. Wilson. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
By the way, you did excellent
Yes.
on the previous podcast. And then all the way from Africa.
Hey, Hakuna
He just came back
Matata.
from Africa. See, he's shining. He brought the billions. He went to the gold mine.
Okay, hey,
in
don't let them know all
Zambia.
that. Come on now.
How you doing, Frederick?
I'm amazing.
Custard.
Henry Fernandez doing quite well, and good to be back.
Okay, good to have you back, man. You're just shining, man.
Yes,
Thank you.
sir.
Thank
You
you.
look
You-
good.
yeah.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Like a
Well
diamond.
rested.
You
Well
can go
rested.
pawn that T-shirt right now and get some money to pay your mortgage. Anyway,
Oh my God.
Hey.
Barna research found that 75% of American adults, that's 3 out of 4 people, say they're actively looking for more or a more meaningful life at this moment. That means the majority of Americans around you, maybe even you, watching this right now, are searching for purpose. But here's the thing. God didn't just give you a purpose and just walked away from you. He left clues, and today we're talking about exactly that. What are the clues God left behind for you to recognize so that you can start living a life of purpose in this season? And so, this, I think it's a great topic. A lot of people are watching the podcast right now and perhaps wondering, all right, am I living my purpose? How do I know my purpose? In fact, as a pastor, I can't tell you how many times people will come to me and they're in their jobs, they're dating or they're married, and they're still asking, Pastor, what is my purpose? So here's the question.
Yeah.
Do you think most people are actually living out their purpose, or are they just kind of guessing their way through life? Who wants to hit it first?
I'm going to say that, based off of the stat that you just said before, I think a lot of people are guessing, and they may believe, but they're not having 100% certainty that this is what I'm supposed to
And because of that, Fred, don't you think that when people are uncertain of their purpose, then they miss opportunities in life to be the best version of themselves?
I love that. That's very true because they don't know how to identify it.
That's it.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, I would say they live near their purpose. Near their purpose.
That's a new one.
Yeah.
Near their purpose.
And I
Okay.
say that because it's like, okay, you're going through life and you may do something and it feels good. You're like, I think this may be what I should be doing right now. But then there's the fear factor, right? Because in order for you to fully step into your purpose, you have to believe that you can. I mean, there's all of the things that you have to do within yourself. So people kind of touch and go. They don't really jump into it. They just kind of live near their purpose. And then people also sometimes mistake profession with purpose and it gets confused.
Right,
so
right,
I'm glad we're doing the show because it
Right.
is a cloudy
Right.
scenario for a lot of people.
But what would you say to the people, though? Because I like what you just said. Because there are people who, this year, I'm going to obtain a degree in this. 2 years later, 4 years later, they get the degree. But then I'm going to pursue this other degree. Or if I start this business.
Yeah.
And so you find that
Yep.
in a calendar year, they stretch themselves out doing 10 different things.
Yep.
Is it because they really don't know their purpose? Or are they just fishing for what?
Two things. One, I feel they haven't fully discovered their purpose. They're just really enticed by everything that they can do. Because just because it's an assignment doesn't mean it's your purpose.
Right.
Because God may call you to do something, even be a destiny helper for someone in the season, but doesn't mean that you need to do what that person is doing.
Right.
And people, particularly now in social media and everything where we're seeing, it's like, oh, I can do that too. I can try this. And you get confused because now
Right.
you're dipping in all of these things and your purpose is calling you like,
1,000%.
I'm over here and you're all the way over there.
Wow.
And
wow.
I think, that there's a certain time to be doing that. Like when you're young, when you're trying to your development or discovery
What you saying? A
phase.
guy like me, 62, can't be doing
I don't think you should be, but you can. You can be. I mean, it's your prerogative, like Bobby Brown. But there's.
This man just called me Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown.
There's a certain.
We got to pray for
time.
Fred today.
Yeah,
anyway.
send them. I'm
send the prayers in the
willing
chat.
and wanting. But with that being said, Henry and Carlene, do you think, that you can have more than one purpose? Is that something that's possible? Is that something that, because I feel sometimes because we are trying to figure it out, we may be paralyzed in the decision that I'm near my purpose, or I have a proficiency in this area, or what do y'all think?
I
Go after
say,
her.
so here's my take on that. I think that we all have the same purpose, but God gives us different assignments to fulfill that purpose. So if I was reminded of like Joseph had a purpose, but he had so many assignments along the way in order to get to the main thing that God had designed for him to be. Now, he was a prisoner. He was convicted. He was a head of a home. He did so many different things. And I think that a lot of us are also stuck in our talents and thinking that talents is what is our purpose. But I believe that your talents are what you can do, but God's purpose for your life is what he wants you to do.
Wow.
So there's
Smart,
two
you
different
nailed
things.
it.
Yeah, I love that.
I love how she phrased it. You nailed it. I firmly believe that you have one purpose,
Yes. Yes.
just one purpose. And there are many assignments to the purpose.
Yes.
So when you just said that, that you nailed it.
Yeah.
And this is where I think a lot of people are getting it confused when it comes to their purpose.
Talk about it.
They create many purposes.
Jesus.
Purpose driven.
It's okay. I want to be 10 different things when you're only one.
You in my business now.
But God,
business,
but
Bishop.
God will
Henry.
assign you. God will assign you to several things to fulfill that one
vision.
purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one vision. So I think the thing that our listeners need to understand this, we're not saying you shouldn't, and I hate to use this word, but I think everybody will understand what I'm saying. You can hustle.
Come on.
Hustle and so forth. Just make sure your hustling is fulfilling your purpose.
I got a question.
So right there, before you go to that
ahead.
question, do
Yeah,
we
yeah,
know
yeah.
our purpose?
Okay.
Here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So-
What's our purpose?
I think, well, the purpose is to glorify God. The Bible specifically says, let your light shine before men that they may see your what? Good works.
Yep.
So your purpose, you have to work your purpose. So why? God in heaven would be glorified. That's scripture. So that's a foundational thing that tells every believer of what their purpose is so that they can work it and then fulfill.
But what are they working? I think that's where I love what you
So
said.
the in-between,
right?
the
Because
gap.
it's great. We're all glorifying God. To your point as well, Henry. We have the one purpose, right? Is to point it all back to Him.
Yeah.
But then how do we do that? I think that's where
A practical
people get
example, are you
confused.
saying?
Right.
So for example, for me, content creation, I run a business with my husband, and the way we, show up when we go to our customers' home, they see the light of God just the way that we do our customer service, how we speak to them. And on content creation, I'm not just out here, creating something that would, God would not be proud of, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
If you're a hairstylist, what are you telling your clients? What are you feeding them? What is the atmosphere that you're setting for the environment that they're getting their hair done? Are you playing gospel music? What is it that you're doing to glorify God in the avenue and the industry that God has placed you in?
Right.
Right.
For me, very good question. What do we think our purpose is on the earth? And for years, I would go around, that's when I accepted the call for ministry. I would say my purpose is to be a pastor. And it wasn't until God placed this in me, and it has consumed my life ever since.
I like that.
I changed from saying my purpose is to be a minister
Come on.
to my purpose is, number one, be the best version of who God called me to be.
Okay.
Love it.
In turn, help others become the best version of themselves.
Yeah.
Now, here's the assignments.
Come on.
The assignment happens to be, He called me to spiritual leadership. So my role as a pastor is helping Henry to become the best version of himself. Why? Because the office of a pastor gives me an opportunity to bring out that leadership gift in me.
That's real.
That had I not have the position of a pastor,
Yeah.
I couldn't use
Work it out. Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Then not only that, as a husband,
Right.
be the best version of myself for a woman, for her to understand what a husband's role ought to be. As a father, to let my kids grow up knowing, if there's anything I can say, my father was there for us. He was a father. He fit the role of fatherhood.
Wow.
Right? When I speak on a weekly basis, doing this podcast, the podcast
Yeah.
is a part of my assignment.
Yes.
Now, we just started the podcast a few years ago, even before podcast was developed. From the time I was formed in my mother's womb,
Hey.
Come on.
this was a part of my assignment.
Listen.
And so what you'll find is Henry is doing all kinds of stuff. Those things are just a part of helping me become the best dude on the planet
I love that. But can I?
and the best pastor and the title
you that
comes
you
with
are
it.
that that's my pastor. Thank you very much. But let me ask you this. So do you think that a lot of people are stuck in feeling like if you don't have a platform, then you're not living in your purpose?
Absolutely. See, and this very
Yeah.
Oh, I'm on fire
Nowadays.
That's-
I can't with the
Jesus,
heat,
Put
y'all.
fires in the
shoot
chat.
the
Put
question
fires in the
out.
chat right now.
Put some
You've
fire in the
asked
chat.
a very important question
Yeah.
because, again, here's the mistake you'll make. The moment you start comparing yourself with others
Come on here.
and looking at other people's position in life to determine whether or not you are walking in your purpose, you'll never fulfill your purpose.
No.
You'll never understand your purpose because, again, you are stuck on titles.
Right.
You are stuck on an assignment. Your assignment may not be a pastor, but that doesn't mean you can't fulfill your purpose. Like, for example, you talked about you and your husband run a business and so forth. You are called to that.
Yes.
That's a part of your assignment. But at the end of the day, you and your husband, the only way you can maximize the potential of that business is you guys fulfilling your purpose by becoming the best version of yourself.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you're not the best version of yourself, you'll have a business, but guess what? It's not going to be profitable. It has no reputation because you're not good. Your husband is not good, right? And if you're a school teacher, right? Being a school teacher is just a part of the assignment to fulfilling your purpose, because beyond being a school teacher, you may be a wife, you may be a mother, right? And sometimes we assign, watch this, our purpose to a title or a position.
And when that position is gone, we feel
Your
identity
purpose is
crisis,
gone.
right?
1000%.
So that's super dangerous to do that, because then that's another big identity crisis.
There
right?
it is. Yeah.
And as believers, we should know. My favorite scripture is one of them, Ephesians 2, verse 10. We're created in Christ Jesus for
Yep.
good works. We're his masterpiece.
Right.
But then if you don't even know where you are or where your purpose is coming from, then you're not going to be able to live it out.
Absolutely
You
not. So one of the things that you all are constantly talking about is your talent and things, your assignments. So talent isn't the same as calling, from what I'm hearing.
Right.
Is it possible to be really good at something, a talent per se, and it not be part of your purpose?
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
You can be good at something, but it doesn't mean you ought to go into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
That's like what you were saying earlier. Like everything that you think your hand can do does not mean it's your assignment. And that's where we get a whole confused society. Today I'm this, tomorrow I'm doing this. And you're like, wait, weren't you just in your business card just say this the other day? Or
Right.
you spend so much money. And I think this seeps over into relationships, because your
Oh, yeah.
spouse is confused now, because I'm putting my all in supporting you in being this. Like we put all the money, we put the time, the
Get real
energy.
expensive.
And then it's like, okay, now I'm going to do this thing.
Right.
So
Right,
it also
right.
creates, that type of confusion in the home.
Do you know how many people have invested money and put themselves in debt?
Yes. Let's talk about
Going
that.
after things
Yeah.
that they were not called to.
Come on.
Yes.
They're passionate about it,
There it is. Yes.
but that's not their purpose.
Yes.
Do you know how many student loans are owed today?
Ooh, talk about it. Or don't talk about it.
To people.
Let's simmer.
Student loans are owed by people, I should say, today,
Jesus.
A lot.
that at the
Would
end
never-
of the day
yeah.
would never,
Yeah.
ever
That's true.
master that area, would never even get a job
In
in
it.
that discipline.
Very true.
And so forth. Because again, we get all this excited about, again, we watch social media, we watch television, we watch our friends. Oh, she became a nurse.
Oh, yes.
So I want to become a nurse.
Yeah.
She does this. Everybody wants to be a social media influencer. Right? And if you ask a lot of people, it's two reasons. They just want to be famous or they want to make money.
Right.
Right? And, while somebody else may be making money in social media, doesn't mean you're so gifted that you will. So so hold
Talk
you.
about it,
I see you ready. I see you ready. But I'm telling you,
That's good.
society, and
Yeah.
especially people of faith, because we
Yeah.
know a lot of our listeners are viewers who are faith conscious. You love God. You're either a believer or seeking God. We are very aware of that, and we want to thank those of you who support us by, following our podcast, sharing our podcast, hit the notification bell there, if you will, and follow us. It means a lot to us. So we know a lot of you are out there. You're genuinely trying to be a better person, to become the best version of yourself. Right. And this is where you got to be careful. You got to be careful who you're listening to, what you're watching.
Yes, sir.
And that's why we are very particular about the content we produce, because our assignment, the talk about purpose, the purpose of our podcast is to be real to you.
Yep.
And to help you discover who you are and become the best version of yourself. I'm not telling you you're going to be like Henry Samard,
Africa.
Africa.
One of my top.
You may not be Frederick. You may not be Carlene.
Yeah.
Be you.
Be you.
And be the best you. When you wake up every day, you then say to God, okay, what's my assignment today? To be the best version of me.
Correct.
Go ahead.
Man, I love this.
Listen,
I
before you
gotta listen before we even post this. because-
Exactly. But before you say something, I want to come from maybe a relatable perspective because I am multifaceted. And I would say it took me 30 years to finally find my identity and my purpose in God.
Right.
Every time somebody would say something to me, oh my God, you're so good at singing. You should be a singer. That was something that I would put my mind to. They would say, oh my gosh, you're so good at creating content. You're so good at this. But I went and I evaluated what is the thing that people get most uncomfortable that I do. I think that's the thing that I need to be doing, which was content creation. And I love content creation because it's something that not just is a passion, it's a way that I can share what God has placed on the inside of me, no matter what the assignment is. So I'm saying all of that to say is that I was gonna hit on that, Bishop, but you hit it on the nail where we got to be careful of who we're like listening to and actually solidify those people in our lives that can actually speak over us and can see the vision of what God placed on the inside of us.
I'll let you speak and then I have something else to
So
say.
I had to learn this lesson through denying myself and really trying to listen to God. So your talent will open the door for you, but your purpose determines if you walk through that door. And I always have had desires to be in media, be a talk show host, all of that, right? And I think everyone who knows me knows that. My purpose is to bring the right encouragement to the world in different areas and assignments. And I started my own talk show back in like 2017, 18. Doing good, didn't, end up finishing it. And I got an opportunity after I stopped it. There's a guy who came and he was like, man, we've seen your work. We want you to host this show. The audience is there. You don't have to do any marketing, global audience. All you have to do is let me know that we're good to go. We'll set up a meeting. As he's speaking to me, you never have that Holy Spirit tug happening and someone is speaking like it's a no. And I'm like, yeah, call me, we'll talk. And I'm showing total excitement. And literally, God was like, no, you're talented and you can do it, but no, that's not coinciding with your purpose.
Wow.
And it was hard for me to deny that because I was like, man, come on, God, this is great. And so I reached out to another colleague and connected them, and she did it. I was watching her like, but it's one of those things where if we jump at everything, as you're saying, that we're talented with, we can find ourselves going down roads that we have no business traveling down, So something that we have to look out for.
And I wanted to say this, my own experience, and also I've listened to other people's experiences. You really want to discover what your assignment is and what God is thrusting you into. It's not hard to discover that. Sometimes it's the very thing you don't want to do
That's the thing.
or the thing you're running away from.
Yeah.
Usually the thing that you wake up every day, I love this, I want to do this. A lot of times that's just your passion. Because you can actually do it with your eyes closed.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're so good
That's
at
a clue.
But when God gets ready to throw something at you, and it's backed up with so many stories in the Bible, he will always make it seem as if it's the hardest thing.
Oh my God.
It's not possible for you to do it.
Right.
And that is why you find men in the Bible. Jonah ran from God when God said, you better go down to that place and preach the gospel. I ain't going down to them crazy people. They're going to kill me. God will always thrust you into something that scares the heck out of you.
Yeah, that's true.
Me being a pastor, I've shared this over and over, a spiritual leader, I never wanted to do this. No. Never wanted to do this. I never wanted to become a pastor. And because I grew up in church. It wasn't that I had bad experience with church, whatever. No, I just didn't see myself. Now, television, broadcasting, you name it. I remember I used to watch these cartoons and these TV shows, and the moment the show ended, I would go in my room and act it out.
Oh, which
To myself.
which cartoon?
What do you call it? The Flintstones.
Oh, which one? Fred Barney? They did.
I'm not going to tell you which one I'm trying to be. See, get him off the set right now.
I saw that coming.
I was curious what you rehearsed in the mirror. That's all. Okay, but continue.
He's not right. He's not right. Okay, put in the chat and say, Fred, you're wrong.
No, I'm right.
put it in
I
there.
want to see that too.
You know, but I tell you what, I used to act out these things.
Yeah.
You know, and so I never wanted to be a spiritual leader, but I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. All my years, I'm doing my own thing. Then I went into travel and tourism. I became a flight attendant. I decided to travel the whole world. And like Saul, who was on the road of Damascus, and God struck him blind and said, no, you are going to become a mouthpiece for the gospel. God stopped me in my track and said, you're going to be a pastor. Even though I didn't want to do it. And you know what he had to do? True story. One day I was supposed to go to work, and I decided I'm going to call in sick. And to be honest, I was not sick. You know, and don't be looking at me strange, because you all do it.
Yeah.
You all know you calling in and you ain't sick, right? So
When they approve that
sick of this
PTO.
job.
I called it because I
When
had-
that PTO ain't
I
approved.
said, look,
Okay.
I got hours, so I picked them.
FMLA.
I'm at FLL, Fort Lauderdale Airport.
I'm not feeling well, you know. And I couldn't get anybody. I couldn't get my manager and so forth. Long story short, I called the Atlanta office, and they say, your building is on fire. Ooh.
Oh, wow.
God burned you out.
So sick Henry jumped in his car, head to 125th Street in Miami, and literally watching the building of my company on fire.
That's crazy.
Because I remember a few months before,
Yeah.
God told me, leave and go into ministry. And I blatantly said no.
So he set the building on fire?
Listen, God will do anything
Oh.
to move you out of your
Jonah.
comfort
Listen.
zone. Now, you ain't going to trap me for these people to be putting comment there. Henry said, God burned up their building.
Right.
This man is not right. He is a troublemaker.
He showed you the
All
right
I'm
way.
going to tell you, he forced me out of my career,
How to do that?
right? And he will. He did it to Jonah.
Yes, he
Throw him in
did.
the whale belly.
Right? So I'm saying to all of us, you got to get to the place, man, where you just let go and let God. Do your thing. Try different things, yes, but listen to the voice of the Holy Spirit. Because one day you're going to have an encounter with him, and he's going to tell you, aren't you tired of doing that?
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't see that ain't working?
Yeah.
That's not what I called you to. Now, this is what you're supposed to do. And your response is going to be, God, I don't want to do that. Because I said, I don't want to be no pastor. I don't want to deal with. But you know what? After 35 years, you can't get me to do nothing else.
Come on here.
Seriously, I tell
Yeah.
people this all the time, and they don't believe me. You put $10 million before me right now and say, leave what you're doing. I swear, and I know preachers are not supposed to swear, I will turn it down in a heartbeat.
Well, there it is.
I will turn. Now, he won't turn it down. This one over here, he won't. But Henry will.
I have a crew
Let's
question.
continue.
I have a
Crew
crew
question.
for us.
Tell us what this crew question is.
All right, so you know the crew is loving this. They eating this up. They said, how do you know where you currently are in life is a part of your purpose? And I think that's something a lot of people are asking.
Ooh,
That's a good one.
right now, how do you know?
Okay. So this what came up in my spirit, because what God leaves clues. Okay, I'm reminded of, is it JL or Yael or JL in the Bible, the tent peg with the tent peg
Oh,
and
Jael.
everything? Well, there's a woman in the Bible, y'all. Y'all do your own research, but this woman went around putting up tent pegs, and I could imagine being her as, oh my God, what I'm doing every day is mundane. It's not worth nothing. I don't have the platform. Nobody sees me.
Right.
And then one day, the king who's running away, who they're trying to defeat, the enemy comes to her tent peg, and she ends up unaliving the enemy and saving a nation. And I took that question just from a perspective of, man, I'm going to my job every single day. This doesn't feel like I'm in my purpose and all of these different things. But I believe that in God's timing, something is going to happen where all of the time that you put in doing those mundane things, doing those things that you feel like is not your purpose, is going to have a great reward in the end. So that's kind of how I took that perspective, but you guys can answer it from another
I
perspective.
want to say this because as you're speaking, I'm seeing work, right? A lot of times we don't put the work in to figure out if where I am right now, whether it's really praying, asking God, looking into getting a mentor,
Yeah.
reading some books to say, okay, people are telling me this. There are clues that God's throwing my way, but is this where I should be? And, we have our monthly ebook that comes out.
Right.
And I think this month the title is Made for More, which is so good.
Right, yeah.
So I
Get
did-
it, get it,
Get it. Download it. Yeah.
Download it now.
So good. So as I'm going through the ebook, there's an assessment. It's a spiritual assessment that you can take. So I took it. I'm like, okay, let me see what this is going to say, right? So at the end of the assessment, great questions, really get here.
Yeah.
It literally itemizes percentage-wise what your talents, your gifts, and kind of like your calling. So it's a really good layout. And shockingly, it hit it on the head. There was one that kind of shocked me. So it brought up, of course, giving is one of my spiritual gifts, and I love to give.
Yeah.
Encouragement. I was like, how you know me? It was just amazing. So I encourage people to do the work, like do assessments, do the one that we have in the ebook this month, read books, find out, am I where I need to be? And it may take you getting away from the norm, but you got to do that work.
Yeah. And I'm glad you referred to that because, like Samaj said, how do you know?
Right.
How do you know?
And sometimes the information is there.
Resources.
Yep.
It's there.
The
Yep.
resources.
It's just for you to take the step of faith and activate your response by just doing it. So we've made it easy for you.
Yeah.
If you just go and
Get the
subscribe
book.
to our monthly
Get the
ebook, but in particular this month, just go and get it. Now you talked about the assessment part of it. So if you're out there, you're watching this podcast, and somehow it has ignited the passion to know why on earth you're here on the earth, you may want to go and check out the assessment for yourself. Carlene did hers, and you need to go ahead and do yours because it may give you clues to who you are, what God has called you to be, and may answer some of the questions you've been asking, so please go and do that.
I'm going to shift real quick about purpose. I've got a quick question, but this has all been very good. Is it possible to be living your purpose and still be broke, unnoticed, or on the struggle bus? Or does purpose eventually show up as success?
Wow.
I think a lot of people, that's a good question, Fred. That's a good
It
shift.
is, yeah.
I think a lot of people, when you actually accept, because there's that whole, okay, fine, this is what it is. And your purpose sometimes is also mixed into a dream, right? I think a lot of people, when they start off, they are starting off broke because think about starving actors, right?
That's good. Yeah, that's real.
Singers,
Right.
different careers where even with me, I started a business that's commissions only. Okay.
True. Right.
Come on, Jesus, faith in
Yeah.
God will move mountains, right?
Hallelujah.
So it's like you have to understand that when you do step fully into purpose, that's a part of the journey.
Journey.
It might happen where you may not be able to have the resources right away, but if you stick it out, things will change.
Yes.
But yes, I would say yes to that.
I wrote this down. Purpose is not a destination, it's a lifetime journey.
Break that down.
Purpose is not a destination, it is a lifetime journey. And by that I mean, if you think that your current situation is your purpose, whether you have money or you're broke, then you've missed the mark of your purpose because, watch this, you only have a certain amount of years, watch this, to fulfill certain assignments in your purpose.
Okay.
Think about that.
Okay.
It's only a certain amount of years to fulfill some assignments in your purpose. Because I want to die empty, but I think after death, there's still much more I could have done,
That's true.
right? So whenever you tell yourself, I am broke, and so why am I not able to fulfill my purpose? Then you have said your destiny or your destination is in that moment, in your brokenness. So might as well you just die now.
So
Because you have reached the peak.
Yeah.
Because you are then saying there's no more hope
right.
for you to have more assignments in the future to get yourself out of poverty?
You know, I like that. I really do like that. But I think that hope is something that feeds our emotions. I think faith is something that we are lacking when it comes down to not just the financial, like, you know, radar. I want to be in another financial bracket. But I truly believe that God cares less about your success than he does your faithfulness.
Right,
And
right.
everything that we're pursuing and all of our purpose that we're actually doing is to allow us to be aware of where we are in that season. Because you could be rich one season, you know, and broke is a mindset. It's not necessarily like a money thing.
Purpose can never be bought.
It can never be bought.
You see, and this is where, you know, to the question, yes, it can never be bought. If you have determined that you are not fulfilling your purpose because you are broke, you're struggling to pay your bills and so forth, then you are saying that your worth on the earth
That's exactly
is
what I'm
in that
saying.
moment that maybe if I watch this, do you know how many rich people
All right, where they at?
who still don't know their purpose?
Okay then.
Still, so I think we just need to understand that life takes us through a journey. That's why I said before, it's not a destination; it is a journey. Because I oftentimes say this: every problem has an expiration date. And I want those of you who are watching the podcast, man, to understand this. Whatever situation you're in right now, if you do the right things and you trust in God, I promise you, 5 years from now, you're not going to be in that situation. Whatever battles you're fighting right now, it has an expiration date. So what you do is, in your season of brokenness or whatever, you just tell yourself, okay, God will supply all of what I need in this season
That's true.
to fulfill his purpose.
But you just preached about how oftentimes it's not a money problem, it's a management problem.
There you go.
So I think that when we ask general questions like this, it's situational, it's circumstantial, and it's individual. So when we're saying something, don't take it as meat. You have to, just take little pieces and figure out what is speaking to you. How does this apply to you? Because you can have management issues. That's why you're broke, quote unquote.
Exactly.
And somebody knows how to manage, but they make way less than a rich person, but their lifestyle has more fruit. And God wants us to have more fruit than he wants us to have finances, because the Bible says when God makes us rich, he adds no sorrow. So if you rich, like from the world standard, and you're sorrowful, then I don't want that. I want what God is doing through my faithfulness by serving and doing what he's called me to do. Because I know my time is coming where the wealth is there. It's right there.
You know what just dropped in my spirit? A lot of times why people are not able to discover their purpose is because of them mismanaging their life.
Life. Yeah.
Seriously, mismanaging your life. How you handle your time.
The people you are
The
connected
people
with.
you're connected to.
There's some of them.
How you manage your money.
Yeah.
What kind of a mindset you have.
Right.
I mean, those are the things. If you manage your life properly, you will discover your purpose. I mean, like me, I'm telling, it's a journey. I wish I could tell you all my life I got it right. Still don't get it right. But there were a season in my life where when it comes to money, oh God, I made good money. When I say good money, I'm talking back in the early 90s. No, not even 90s. I'd say by 1988. This is not my salary. This was just my bonus.
Ooh.
I would come home with $30,000
Well,
Let me
per month, minimum.
wait, what?
Not my salary.
You said 30K.
I was a collection manager for a group of doctors, North Broward
What year
Radiology.
was this?
What?
Are they hiring?
What year was this?
1988.
Are they hiring?
That money went long.
I cut a deal.
Cause-
with the doctors that I'll get your money,
Yeah.
but you're gonna pay me a percentage.
Let's go.
And I had me 11 collectors who worked for me. So I was a manager then.
Right.
And they had, each amount was to bring in, because at the tail end of it, I know a percentage belonged to me.
Right.
I was making good money. Here's the point. but a poor manager. 30,000 plus a decent salary and was broke. I didn't manage my money well, and I didn't understand what my purpose was in life, because back then, I thought my purpose was, watch this, make it rich, have a lot of money, travel, do whatever you want to do, and you're successful. And my wife and I would travel, we went all over the world, so I get my money, didn't invest it in a house, didn't invest it in things that, gain equity and so forth. It was just all putting it out there, things that depreciated. And it wasn't until I had an encounter, and this is what our listeners need to understand. When you're hungry to do better and want to do better, sometimes there's a spirit of stronghold upon you.
Come on.
You're trying, but every time you put one foot forward, you take 10 steps backward. And we struggled until finally one day something happened in a store. We were using an American Express card. And when that card declined and that clerk cut that card up in front of myself, my wife, and the whole crowd behind us, that changed my life.
Yeah.
I made a decision that day. I cannot live like this. This is not what God called me to be. Manage your money well. And you know what? With 21 credit card, including store cards and bank cards, in debt, maxed out, it took me years, discipline.
Yeah.
Years, paying off everybody, didn't ask for a write-off because I took the goods.
Yep.
Pay off everyone. I paid off everyone. And finally, when I got a hold of managing my resources, it changed my life. I was able to buy my first home.
Come on.
It's managed. See, back then I could have said that was my purpose.
Right.
And no, my purpose, again, was to become the best version of myself, because I was not.
So, Henry.
I was wasting my money. And today, I'm a better man.
Yes.
But I'm still not the best version of myself.
Wow.
It's a journey.
It's a journey.
I like that. And so I'm one of the 75% that you brought up earlier. How do I know where my journey lies? Like, what steps or signs is God giving me or showing me? Let them know about, how can I find out what that purpose is that God is giving me?
First of all, stop messing with Henry.
Okay.
That's the first thing. That's what God is saying to you.
Don't mess with Henry. All right.
He'll find his way. But on a serious note, Fred, I think you just have to be willing to submit. Let's be honest. Our biggest struggle is to let go.
Surrender.
Because we're trying to run our lives.
Yeah.
And do it our way. I'm quite sure you can attest to this,
Yeah.
because you think you know your way.
1,000%.
You think, but sometimes just say, God, I tried.
Right.
You're going to have to walk me through this from this day forward. You're going to have to show me how to get through this.
Yeah.
How to become the best version of myself.
Yeah.
How to find who I'm called to be. Like you, Fred. Trust me, you have not yet tapped into
Come on, prophetic word.
half of what God has for you.
Yes. Touch
You think all of what you've done in your life,
Lord.
you have yet to tap in. And I think what God does, he uses all of these things, everything you're going through,
Right.
everything your wife is going through, everything all of us is going through. He's using it, watch this, to stir the ground up,
Jesus.
to help us, watch this, to develop such huge faith that when the time is right, sow that incredible seed of faith and say, okay, I'm ready now, God.
I'm ready now.
I'm ready. I'm ready to be the Fred that you've called me to be.
Yes, sir.
I'm ready to surprise myself. I'm ready to shock my whole family. Because sometimes you are the Joseph of the family.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
You're the one. Now watch this. This is good. Sometimes, those of you out there, you're the Joseph of the family. And sometimes God will allow you to be the one to go through hell.
Wow.
Family coming against you,
Come on.
betraying you, put you in a pit,
Come on.
cancel you and say you died.
Woo.
Gone to a workplace, been abused, been accused of a crime that you didn't commit, been in prison
Vic.
before your whole family and generation see that God was with you all the time.
The whole time.
Sometimes you got to go through hell.
Ooh.
to get to where God wants you to be. I'm a living
Yeah.
I've been through hell.
Come on.
And back.
Come on.
And sometimes you wonder, you ask God, why this path? Why you got to, why when you told the children of Israel to leave Egypt, why didn't you cut out a path? Because he could have done it. Why couldn't you cut out a path that mountains were not on both sides and they didn't have to cross no Red Sea? Sometimes what God does, he will let problems cave in on you and put impossibilities in front of you, because you got to understand your life is never about you. It's never about you.
Wow.
It is for the glory of God at the end of the day. So he's giving you clues. So all that hail you're catching, it's a clue
It's a clue.
that you're on the right path.
It's a clue.
That was a
Yeah.
lot. That's
Yeah.
processing.
I'm telling you,
got-
this was really good, man. This was really
I
good.
wish
stuff.
we didn't have to wrap this up.
I
This
know.
was so good.
I know. So, I mean, if you've enjoyed this, you have got to put in the chat, man, and make your comments there, man, and say what part of this discussion today empowered you and maybe motivated you, because I'm telling you, there's greatness still inside of you. Do not let your temporary current situation trick you into believing that God doesn't have a purpose for you. All of the stuff that's stressing you out now, it's just an assignment. It's an exam. Just pass the test. Because if you don't pass this test, you can't go to the next level in life. So I want to share with you 5 signs God is trying to show you that it's your purpose. It's time for you to walk in your purpose. Number 1, what comes naturally to you. Sometimes it's your natural gift, man. It's that natural gift. Things that you can close your eyes and do. You know, you don't have to beg anybody. You don't have to even go to training for it. Number 2, what consistently angers or breaks your heart, right? Again, you know, God will put you in uncomfortable situations. Sometimes he will test you. Moses,
Yeah.
you know, he'll say, go talk to the people. And he'll test your anger because he knows you got an anger problem.
And you stutter.
And you stutter. Right? And you don't be like Moses, you know, because Moses was called to be a leader even though he had an anger problem. Right? You know, so just be careful. Things will break your heart. It broke Moses' heart that God punished him for striking the rock over his feelings. The same people he cried out to God for God not to kill, God punished him for treating them unkind.
Wow.
So number 3, what other people keep saying about you, right? So what are other people saying about you, whether good or bad? People could be saying, oh, you know, Samaj, you're a great speaker. Maybe they're right. Maybe God will use people to say, this is content creating. You're good at that. Go ahead and use it. But then the flip side of that, people will say, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You know, your gift is, no, that wasn't good enough. But you got to know within yourself
Come on.
that you gave it your best.
Yes, sir.
Right? Number 4, what you're deeply passionate about when it comes to helping others, you know, with whatever gifts you have and so forth. You know, sometimes that's your calling. You know, some of you have the ministry of helps. You know, you're gifted in that area, so go for it. And finally, your spiritual gifts. What are your spiritual gifts? For me, I mean, it's just empowering people. You know, I think that's one of my gifts is to, you can come in my space and I don't care how bad you feel. I don't care how you think everything is caving in on you. When I get done with you, I'm telling you, you're going to leave my presence feeling better.
Yes, sir.
Because I listen to you, but I'm not going to have a pity party with you. I'm going to help you to get out of what situation that you're in. So please take those 5 things, study them, meditate on them, and I really do believe they will help you. So today's conversation is really just the beginning. If you are still asking what my purpose is, click the link below and scan the QR code. and get July's ebook, Made for More. I love that, Made for More. And take the spiritual assessment on the inside. You got to do it. At least just go ahead and do it. So I hope today helped you on your journey to become the best version of yourself. Thank you, co-host. I appreciate it. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.